Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about not allowing the opposition to overload or overwhelm you with their feelings and their emotions. You know what I mean? And what kind of brought me to this subject today was just understanding that that's the main way the opposition leads. Even though they operate as if they are fully disconnected. If you know what I mean. So what happens is like when you engage with them, you will notice like it's hard to feel a bond or connection. Like they just don't even understand you from the smallest things. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could be rubbing your back and you be like, that feels good, and then they change it up and do something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like what you guys do and how y'all operate, whether friends or pairs, is just not in sync together. You know what I mean? And you connect things through your highly hypersensitive sensory system that you have. They are using their emotional sensory system for manipulation and for selfish purpose and reasonings. So that's where it gets a little tricky at, because I know a lot of us like to feel like, they don't have no feelings, they don't have no emotions. Like everything is on a percentage scale. So, and what also happens is there's a lot of movies, a lot of witchcraft out here. So if one reason why we don't hear about witches is because the bitch is the new witch. You know what I'm saying? So females who go by a bitch or like to be a bad bitch, they are witches. These are bad witches. You know what I'm saying? So that's one reason. Another reason is because the system is the head. So if the male is a witch and the wife is the witch, and then all their little children and everything they're pushing out is going to be little witches. So then you're not going to even look at it as they're witches. You know, we'll just change this term witch to bitch. You know what I mean? So it's a whole process with it. But the thing is, like, understanding that everything is on a percentage scale. You know what I mean? When you say somebody have no feelings, just say they have low feelings. You know, so on a percentage scale to 100, just say they're fucking at 1% in feelings. That's basically not feeling anything when you're that low. You know what I'm saying? Like once you start getting under 50%, you are extremely low. You know what I mean? So, but you still can feel, but it's all on a percentage scale. But what brought me to this subject was it's just like understanding that their connection with you is gonna be transactional. It's gonna be harder to get there, but the way they communicate is through the emotions. You know, so the way we use our emotions and our sensories in the spiritual realm, they took that and they used that as almost like weaponry. You know what I mean? Like we use it to communicate. We use ours more to connect with others, and they use theirs more for manipulation, self-protectors, like I said earlier. So when you are communicating with them, usually it's going to be some kind of conversation about something vibrating low. So the feelings and emotions is going to be something that it has been going on for months, a year. It's been going on for a while. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that we run into, they already been programmed to a lot of this shit already. So it's like, even if you delete Facebook off your phone and you re-download it, everything pops back up fine, because it was already in your system, on your hardwired phone. You know what I'm saying? The hardware. So it makes the process easier. So understanding that they use the emotions to kind of rail you. So a lot of things is going to be like, for me, it's like a lot of women who are like, come across them who are like crybabies. They like to use crying as a form of communication and manipulation. Like, the shit be confusing to me, because like I don't have the same feeling and connection with it when I sense it happening, if you know what I mean. Like if a baby crying, you're like, oh shit, what happened, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But when you see grown-ups who's consistently doing it, or when you see people who engage with you, because I done had male counterparts too that is a whole witchy witch, and his communication used to kind of be the same way. You know, he always used to revert back to how he got touched and all this shit when he got little. Like, anytime I used to bring up a hard conversation to this nigga, he would bring up some weird shit. I'm like, bruh, like, I kind of want to feel bad, but I don't give a fuck about that right now. Like, I'm talking to you about something else right now, and you keep shifting it to try to make me feel more sympathetic towards you. And it's the same thing with the women. So the crazy thing is, when you in this space and you experience male and women do it, you know that it's not a male female thing. It's an energetic, spiritual based practice, concept, situation, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? There's too many English words out here to fucking make shit all weird and witchy. You know what I'm saying? But they use these things because it's an easier way to control you and to control the narrative, you know what I'm saying? Or to control the conversation, which is the narrative, you know what I mean? So, like, dealing with some of these beings, like, you have to learn how to lower, you're not gonna be able to turn off, lower your empathy, you know what I mean? You can turn your sympathy off, that's different, that has an on and off switch, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody did something, like, maybe the first time I used to experience people crying in front of me, I felt a little sympathetic. I'm like, oh. And then, like, after numerous of times, it'll hit me like, and I don't say, oh. And then it'll be like, nigga, shake it off. And then I brush it off, and then I can communicate past them with logic and the facts. You know what I'm saying? And use the emotions to kind of make the connection for them while I'm communicating it outwardly. That's what I use, and I know that's what a lot of us use our empathy for, is to make sure that we can have healthy communication with other beings, even if they don't want to fucking comprehend. That's what we do. So, but it's nice and it's weird as you get older and growing more into these spaces, because you'll realize, like, beings are still trying the same tactics that people tried on you 10, 15 years ago, and they looking at you as if these tactics should still be working, and you looking at them motherfuckers like, fucking retarded. Like, I'm trying to tell you that does not work over here, you know what I mean? But the way this shit is set up, they have to dump and overload, you know what I'm saying? Because you think about it, like, if you are, say you got a spouse or somebody, right, and they dumping and overloading on you, and let's say they're saving it for nighttime, you know what I'm saying? Now they done got you and your energy all riled up. Now it may be a little harder for you to get to sleep, because now you got this on your spirit and you ain't really want all that energy on your spirit. You know what I'm saying? You got all these vibrations on you, and what's crazy is they pick up our vibration, we pick up their vibration. So clearly they're picking up great vibrations from us, and we're not picking up the best vibrations for them. But they still don't want to acknowledge that and do something about it. And my thing is, it's like, hey, y'all witchy motherfuckers can work a build job and comprehend and listen. So do that shit with the people that you're around if you don't want to be disgusting and evil. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be working as a team. Team meaning, like, if you and your partner, you're leading, I don't like to do the partner thing, but if the males should be out here fucking leading. Simple process. You know what I'm saying? I know we are older, so we're in a space to where, like, for us, we have to either get with it or get lost, but we have to get the younger generation right. That's just the facts of it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm one of them beings that's getting right. I ain't getting lost, you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting down the ones around me right too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like getting in that space and understanding that, like, one thing that I had to do was, right, when people I'm communicating with start trying to pull a lot of emotion out of me, first I have to process what time of day it is, you know what I mean? Anything right in the AM, like soon as I get up, or anything right before I go to bed, I am not going to want to engage with that much. And I would say on a percentage scale, I would put that at like a 95% of me not wanting to engage with it. You know what I mean? But if it's like midday or sometime in between, then I'm already up, I already got my day going, my energy is already flowing, I already had a chance to set everything in stone. You know, the day is like a wave. You're not always guaranteed that everything is going to flow smoothly, so I'm okay with engaging and having those conversations later on in the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it affecting my day right away, and I don't want it affecting my sleep for when I time travel. You know what I mean? So these are some things that we always have to be aware of. And when it's happening, when you're in these spaces and this shit is happening, this is when you have to understand words are powerful. Words are powerful. So even if you're sitting there, right, and they're just getting all their emotional, they're just dumping all this shit on you or pushing some shit at you that's not you or you're not doing, or they want you to do something all in this emotional state, you know what I'm saying? Then you have to realize, like, that's still energy that's being spilled onto you. So even if you're not responding and reacting to it out loudly, you basically, like, you have to remove yourself from that situation, because if it don't weigh on you now, it might weigh on you later, or you're gonna have to shut that shit down. Shut it down, meaning you're gonna have to, for males, you're gonna have to get them to shut the fuck up. Stop spilling that shit out there. If you're a female, you should be following your leader. So you should have a great leader. If you have a witchy leader, then that's on you. So I couldn't give you a whole lot of information, because you're supposed to be following your leader as far as that department. So if you're being somebody that's being combative or not being peaceful, then you got to figure that one out. You know what I'm saying? But if you are one of those beings that's like already situated, because it's a lot of grown ass people out here who already got kids and are women and doing these things already, and it's just harder to find somebody in that space, right? And you got one of these witchy ass men, you have to get these motherfuckers to shut the fuck up or get out of their space. Don't sit there and let them keep spewing and dropping that shit on you, because you got enough of your own shit on you. How many of your own personal battles have you beat to just sit there and let somebody else just drop this energy out there, and you be like, well, I didn't say anything, I didn't respond. Yeah, but it's still in your spirit. That energy is still sitting there. So you have to shut it down or remove yourself. Words are spells and spells are real. You know what I'm saying? So I know for me, if a male is in my space doing that shit, nigga, now my nuts is going to drop and my chest is coming out. So I ain't trying to hear none of that shit, nigga. We gonna create this high vibration conversation, or we gonna shift it to something else. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna have to see these hands, or we gonna separate. We're gonna get to the solution right away, because that's not gonna be the space we sitting in. And with females, I don't have to put my hands on them. You're just gonna shut that shit the fuck up, or I'm going to get the fuck out the way. Simple process. I don't have to sit in that energy. And it's weird to me when it, you know, because I'm not a witchy person. I don't run around doing shit with evil intentions. So my past couple situations when I had fucking witches like bulking up to me, when it wasn't even that kind of situation, it's almost like I'm sitting down, they're bulking up to make me bulk up, and then when I bulk up, it's like, oh shit, now I know that I'm way bigger than them energetically bulking, but I have to hulk it. You have to manage your hulk in the process. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it's unhealthy for women to do that. That's why I don't even like that concept of that, or that process, or feeling like you can do that or not, because you have a voice to do that. You do, and you can also lose your life immediately. So women have to be more smarter about doing that and assuming that the police has your back. Cause it's crazy. They may, but you already gone on to your next journey, motherfucker. So with all of that shit, why don't you just shut the fuck up? You're not gonna beat the man physically. So you have to remove yourself. You have to remove yourself, because some of these witchy motherfucking men are violent, and they will get you. They will get the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? I done had to stop a couple of my old witchy associates from doing shit to their girlfriends and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I already know what time it is. And don't let them be under or above the influence of something. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know that they are going to try to extract emotional response out of you. That's just how they're going to do it. That's just the process. You know what I'm saying? And you'll realize when you're trying to have other conversations how shallow and how uninterested they are in the process, and how it is really hard for them to connect in that process. You know what I mean? But I don't want to run it up too long, you know what I'm saying? Just a couple tactics as far as like dealing with these witchy beings out here and them trying to get emotional responses out of you. Don't shut that shit down. If you got to go to work and somebody try to dig an emotional response out of you today, right away, hey, Tim, you kind of left all that stuff in the printer yesterday. That was yesterday, and keep it moving. Simple process. Simple process. Make it much more simpler. A lot of this shit has When you're dealing with the matrix, I already just talked about this, you have to remove or lower your emotional responses and reactions. Shit is not for that, you know what I'm saying? So if you have to put on your asshole face mask, what they call it, you know what I'm saying, then do it. To me, I just call it, I put on my ego. That's my ego, you know what I'm saying? When I got go out and do that shit, they call it an asshole. I'm like, nah, I just know y'all ain't trying to do more or do better. That's why you're sitting here caring for this job more than you care for your life. And that's where they be at, you know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.